I say in nutshell, that is successor to Dalai Lama, that we have to know about the debates. The debate is not an easy one. It was occupied by China, I think in 1959. Since then, the Dalai Lama, that is a system, that is a reincarnation of the Buddha, that is believers of the Tibetan people, that is being distracted and also decimated by the China through various approaches, but it wouldn't. So that is the video. I have stated in it very clearly about the Dalai Lama and how it is getting support from India as well as USA through legislation. That is important. When government out of debate has passed the legislation to support the Tibetans who are living in India, nearly 1 lakh people. This legal vision, I would like to talk about Dalai Lama. How the system of Dalai Lama is functioning in Tibet and how the China interferes in the Dalai Lama system. Why the China is interested in this also to interfere in the Dalai Lama system? Because Tibet has been occupied by the China. The China is planning this also to control complete all activities of the Tibet. But in between, the Dalai Lama this also along with other people escaped from the China occupation in 1959. They came to India. But now so the government in exile is running as far as Tibet is concerned. The Tibetan nearly 1 lakh people who are residing in India, they escaped from the source of Tibet. They are generation after generation are residing in India. The Dalai Lama system, next Dalai Lama has to be selected because the current Dalai Lama is aged 19 years old. But next Dalai Lama has to be elected and selected and appointed also. But how it is possible? It is considered to be reincarnation of the Buddha. That's why it has to be nominated by the current Dalai Lama. The current Dalai Lama at the age of 2 was selected, but up to this time it was also he is residing in India. But it is protected by the Indian government. India is not at all interested to oust these people from India because India is housing these people. They are residing here. They are doing the politics. They are planning everything. They gather and they run everything. They run the government in exile. But this permission is granted under the United Nations organization is granting the government in exile. If the government is also will be run by the others also large and mass people, they can run the government in exile. That's why the debate in exile. But now the government in exile is being run by Tibetans. But they are also in India. The China wants to interfere the selection of the also successor to the Dalai Lama, whereby China plans to complete the process of the Dalai Lama next and taking the control of the complete Tibet without the government in exile. That is the plan of the Chinese government. That is also the Communist Party government in China. But they are doing more efforts. Recently, just before years ago, a successor to Dalai Lama was anointed. At the time, that person was abducted along with family members. But he is not known up to this time along with family members. Not known to the public view also. So that is a plan of the China to control the Tibet. But from the Tibet, the China is gaining more. That's why the China wants to, it is also aggressive more. Usually, China is carrying the aggressive policy. It is also nudging the India also. They could not, it is also they resist in the Indian policies, Indian government, the two under the current government. That's why it is also China wants to occupy fully in the debate. But a successor to Dalai Lama usually is selected through a system of lot. That is also in the pot, that is also more person names will be put. One name will be selected by the collection. But this was done by the China recently and it is not accepted by the current Dalai Lama and the Tibetan people and the government of the Tibetan exile. But it is necessary to run the debate without disturbance of these people by China. So the China is planning in a significant way to occupy completely debate in the political way, economic way, and more things. Despite more efforts by the China, they could not destroy the system of Dalai Lama and the selection of the successor to the Dalai Lama. So it is a significant. The people of the debates in exile in India are doing best. They unite themselves and they are ready to run the government after the liberation of the debate. They struggle for liberation of the also debate. India is supporting to the debaters who are residing in India. Also, India is extending support to debate in exile. That is important. China didn't do anything and couldn't enter into the works of the also Indian government towards the debate. But I think the successor to Dalai Lama will be selected and elected and anointed as early as possible. The Dalai Lama, current Dalai Lama, has given the interview to the media that the current also successor will be selected very soon and very earlier and will be introduced to all the Buddhists, because the successor to Dalai Lama, they think, is the reincarnation of the Buddha. They have such a beliefness on religion. Recently in 2020, the USA government has passed one legislation, made an act to protect the Tibetan. So through this act, it has warned to the China not to interfere the policy of the debates at any time. And the religious belief of the also Dalai Lama and the Tibetans. So that's why in the worldwide, more supports are pouring in for the Tibetan people and the Tibetan exile, the government, also Dalai Lama. It is best one. Thank you.